Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting.
Hey guys, it's me, Steve, web contributor to 1061 evansville.com.
All right, and welcome to our bonus episode this week. This time, since Money in the Bank is coming up on Sunday, I thought it'd be a good idea to look back and reminisce on some of the memorable Money in the Bank cash-ins.
Yep.
Money in the Bank got started in 2005 at WrestleMania 21. The idea, my understanding, is Chris Jericho came up with it to try to use some of the talent that wasn't being utilized at WrestleMania 21 to put them in a match, and they needed something to literally hang from the ceiling in this ladder match because a ladder match doesn't end until you grab something from the cable. Yeah. And they decided this briefcase, good for a title shot in the good for 1 year at any point in time. And actually, I think it's a solid idea.
Yeah.
It's been used well and poorly over the last, what's it been, almost 10 years now. Actually, over 10 years now, 11 years. So let's talk about some of the best Money in the Bank cash-ins, Steve.
All right.
You want to get things started?
My favorite is still the first. Edge cashing in on John Cena at, was it New Year's Revolution or Evolution?
Yeah, so it was New Year's Revolution, I believe, on 2007?
2006, January 2006.
Was it 2006?
Yeah, it just turned, it was like the first pay-per-view of the year.
Okay, yeah, it was definitely 06 and not 07, though?
I believe it was 6. Yeah.
I have that, go ahead.
I was going to say, because I think if the first Money in the Bank match took place in 05, that would have to
That would make a lot of sense. Okay, absolutely right. So that was in my top 3. I think I had that as my second favorite.
Okay.
There is one I prefer to that. And you know, let's actually spend more time talking about the Edge one right now, because that was really important, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that Edge's first title reign? Or am I wrong about that one?
I believe it might have been.
Yeah, so that made it really important because he became a legit superstar with that title run. And also, one thing that it did that will directly impact this video is it really, in my opinion, showed off the potential of the Money in the Bank.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Because I think when Edge first sees that briefcase at WrestleMania 21, it was not as exciting then because we didn't know what it really meant.
Yeah.
We didn't really put 2 and 2 together about, those surprise cash-ins. And it was really well done because it was before the people were talking about, Edge is going to cash in tonight at every pay-per-view.
Yeah, he held on it just long enough to almost forget about it.
Right, exactly. It wasn't in the forefront, and it led to a legendary title run. It also led to what I felt was one of the worst Raw segments of all time. I hated that live sex celebration. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Wasn't that a direct result of that cash-in?
Oh, yeah.
And waiting for John Cena to have just gone through a brutal Elimination Chamber match, I think it was. Yeah. I haven't researched these as well as I would have liked to, but man, that was really impactful, really important, and was a great foundation for the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I even liked, because the very first one, Vince came out and announced that Edge is cashing in, and he hands him the case.
And that's when all the fans kind of realized, this is what this can mean. Like, we never really thought about it like that. We just kind of thought it gave you a title shot when you wanted it, like, that's not that exciting, but when you can do it 24/7, like, that's cool. Yes. Like, so that was cool. My number 1 favorite has got to be Seth Rollins cashing in on Brock and Roman Reigns.
I figured that'd be your number 1.
What that was WrestleMania? Was it 30 or 31?
31.
31.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone was. The thought of using it at WrestleMania in the main event was so far-fetched that people almost didn't talk about it. You always have, every pay-per-view, people talk about a cash-in.
Yeah.
And at WrestleMania, they do that too, and they always talk about the cash-in on the night of Money in the Bank. There's always cliches and pitfalls when it comes to Money in the Bank. Seeing it actually come to fruition at WrestleMania 31 in a match that I felt like, this was me personally, I know Steve might disagree with me because I was not on board with Roman Reigns as champion. I felt like the only solution that could have satisfied me as a fan was that Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank. Sure. And it wound up happening. And even I thought it was too far-fetched, but I thought that neither Brock nor Roman should leave WrestleMania 31 with the title, and Seth cashing in allowed that to come true. Yeah. So that, and not only that, that kicked off an entire year of just an incredible title run for Seth Rollins, who had
Yes.
not been the champion. Storyline-wise, it was so impactful, that title run, that it was, to me, it was monumental. It was a fantastic job that the Money in the Bank got right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it being the last cash-in up to this point, or actually Sheamus was, but it was the last that made it original again because of when it happened.
Yeah, you can't really get more impactful than
Yeah.
that. You really can't. So there's that one. Do you have another memorable one?
One that always comes to mind, I don't know how memorable the actual moment was Daniel Bryan cashing in on Big Show. Because all up until that point, Big Show was teaching him and telling him about taking opportunities. And then it basically turns itself in on Big Show, and he cashes in and takes the title from him.
You know, that kind of leads me to examples of ones I don't like. Like,
Okay.
what I don't like out of Money in the Bank is when they pre-plan it. I think it should always be a surprise. Like, for example, John Cena did a rare losing of a cash-in when he cashed in on CM Punk, but gave him, I forget if it was 1 week or 2 weeks notice on Raw. That's not exciting to me. Cena having a main event on Raw for the title is not exciting, especially when you give the notice.
Yeah, and RVD
was gonna say
pre-planned
the
his,
same exact
but
thing.
he won his titles.
Now that was impactful because it did lead to a title change, one that people thought they'd never see with Rob Van Dam winning the world title.
Yeah.
But I agree, cashing it in with pre-planned knowledge takes a lot of the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Let's see, one that like I wish I could have gotten behind was like I remember the night after WrestleMania one year, Dolph Ziggler cashed in and won a title. But like, gosh, something about that reign is so forgettable that I forget Ziggler was champion.
Yeah, he was only champion for like maybe a month and a half. I mean, a very short time.
A guy I wish would have a serious run with the
Yes.
thing, but that one never paid off. I remember I thought Ken Kennedy had a bad run. I believe that actually may have. Did that wind up with
He
him?
lost his briefcase to Edge.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I don't.
And that was his exit, though. So I mean, it made sense.
That's like the King of the Ring, though. I don't want to see the King of the Ring or the briefcase defended in a match.
Yeah.
When you've got it for that year.
Exactly.
Use it or don't.
Yeah, don't defend your crown.
Are there any other
Don't
ones
defend the case.
you want to mention?
I like the surprise television ones, like when CM Punk cashed in on the first time on Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, that was always, because you're watching Raw and here this big moment happens, so I enjoy those too.
Yeah, I do get annoyed, like I was mentioning before, like, because while the briefcase is around and not cashed in, every pay-per-view fans will speculate in serious notion that the guy's going to cash in or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's already happening with what happened on Raw this past week with Dean Ambrose, who doesn't even have the briefcase yet. People talking about him winning and cashing in. I find those to be annoying, but again, you're going to have it. So while that briefcase is around, there's a level of excitement that isn't there otherwise. So we will have a new Money in the Bank briefcase holder on Sunday.
Yep.
We don't know for sure if we'll have one on Monday, but we'll have one on Sunday, and we will cover that. Our predictions episode is coming up tomorrow, Steve, so be watching for that.
I'm ready for that.
And Money in the Bank is on Sunday. We will keep you posted with everything going on in the world of wrestling. For myself, the Rob, my tag team partner, Steve.
People, power.